সব মানুষকে নাগাল্যান্ড টিভিতে স্বাগত করেছে মোলা নাম আছে রবিনিয় লামা আর আপনি চাইছে ইন কনভারসেশন উইথ আজি নাগাল্যান্ড টিভি para all Nagaland private school association Anpsa laga president Dr. Andrew Ahoto logot interview thakise state laga online classes shiksha aru fees concession karne ahibi ami khan sabo reporter laga report ke
Nagaland TV exclusive interview de swagat kore Amian nijora jaga nijora state te saredo government schools parado private schools kani bishi age janishna noribi bishi utiaje Aji amian mode Dr. Andrew Ahoto the president of all Nagaland private schools association Timor unit la ase to aji tai mode itu private schools kan kiniga function kore ase jagani noribi itu aji school system kiniga ose ekta dita kota interact ro hello sir. Again, as I did it, Manondo, Anpsa was the number jane. Anpsa the key come brain as to like need brief break that Anpsa role play problem.
Yeah. Thank you, Nagaland TV, and then for giving the wonderful opportunity. Yes, anyway, as our dear friend Atom has said, Anpsa maybe is an abbreviation. Many people Janivo Pare, Najanivo Pare. Anpsa it stands for All Nagaland Private School Association. So actually this Anpsa association started long time back, and Dimapur was the first which started this association, and it spread over the entire district of the whole Nagaland. And then we have Anpsa Central, we have districts Anpsa, but of all the districts, Anpsa Dimapur is one of the biggest, I would say that, amalgamation of all the private schools. So Anpsa as such, private schools, some are registered, some are not registered, but we take in all the schools which are non-run by government schools are taken as Anpsa, inclusive together. So that's how we look into Nagaland State.
As a sir, I do the print media day, the open presentation edition. So that point one day private schools as second highest employment providing sector. Yes, to explain.
Yes, we are very candid about this, and then we are very sure that government gives a lot of, obviously, when it comes to opportunity or when it comes to job opportunity and so on. But the second to that is private schools. So when we look at the private schools, there are over a few thousand schools across Nagaland. And when we look at job opportunity, every school, they have teachers, they have security people, they have probably the housekeeping, and they have the gate man, peons, and so on. So when we look at an average score of all the organization in general, particularly, so Anpsa is no doubt, we are the second in command. Yeah, we are the second highest.
Okay, so point 3 there. Grant of government funds to private schools.
See, I would say that a lot of fund is coming from center and it's going in waste, I would say that. We are not against any particular organization, we are not against the government also. But Amikhan Kole Munja to Hule, Iman Poisa here as a center bra. Aroitu Poisa Kut Jayase. Yes, government colleges to an extent is doing very well. I would say that in Nagaland. But when you compare the schools, there are many schools who are having 0 pass percentage, and many schools are not doing at all very well. So where are the funds going? That's what we would like to question the government also, and also the public. Be Janiva Lagide, Poisa Kut Jayase. So when we look at the fund is saying like what we are talking about the fund is that yes, if we get in leverage like other states like in West Bengal or in South or some in the central India, the government bra asul to private school can get paisa diye, and may not be 100%, but at least they give 10% to 50% of the fund. So what happens? Itu government bra paisa dishi gole ami khan bi fees to community guru paribo, to community fees gole to parents khan iman dukh sukno hobo to. So this is what we are looking at. So there are some schools, government schools, who are not doing at all good. So I feel they should be closed down. I would say that. And the private schools take over. And which are doing well, yes, hats off to them. They are very good government schools also which are doing very well. Yes, we give hats off to them. And they should progress. And they should carry on. But those who are not doing well, I feel they should be closed down. And that fund should be actually diverted to the private schools equally, looking at the result factors and everything, right? And also the number of people that, the students that are there. So when we look at the statistic, yes, the decline of, the government school comparison, it's incomparable actually in that way. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to mention in that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And number 4 there, recognition and award to private schools.
Yes, actually, from time immemorial, actually, we have always seen there was a trend in our site. Government schools can't he bishi award pai thige. Yeah, we are not jealous of them. We are not doubting the questionable credibility or whatever. Every teachers are actually good, right? Everybody should get an award. So maybe when we look at the comparison between government and the private school, we were getting very meager amount of recognition and also award. And it does not cost much money also. It's just a certificate at Thanksgiving, right? So that was not given to us. So we started fighting how we raised the issues and all. Now we are getting to somehow at par with the government. But I would say that deserving, let it be 100 in a year also, it does not matter. So I think every teacher should be acknowledged, both private and government equally, and they should be given a good award and to boost their morale. I would say that, yeah.
그래서 sir, the pandemic I have today, the education system the old
Yeah.
offline or online
Right.
So like, do you think the students are getting quality education through online through online studies?
Yeah, I would say yes. Nothing like physical offline classes, no doubt. It cannot be substitute to that only. And electronic media also cannot substitute the teaching. I would say that ICT board and all that. So maybe circumstances is so that pandemic has made an extraordinary moment for all of us. Na? So Ami Bhavna to Saudole, yes, it is a very difficult moment, especially for the teachers, I would say that. Many teachers had to go to a new normal, I would say that. They never knew how to take Zoom classes or Google classes. They never knew how to even take some of them did not even know how to use a laptop or a smartphone in that way. And it was quite, coming to the camera, it's very, I mean, there's some they shy off, and especially it's a new thing for them. So they had a lot of challenges, and I would say, but the private schools have really taken this master of it right now. I would say that all those teachers have become very smart in that aspect. But when you look at the government, I would say that there are many government schools who have not even started this, I would say that. But probably there are some lacuna here and there. Probably because of the network issue, government school low caste financial background. So probably I feel that because of the financial pressures and all that, they are not able to have what you call the buying the smartphones and so on. So I feel yes, government should come to rescue, I would say, in this matter. And I would say that private schools, or be it government school, government should have a proper analysis, They should have a fact finding, they should have a brainstorming, and to see how. Because we have to understand one thing, that if education collapses, the whole nation collapses. Education is the backbone of everything, and people don't understand this very reason, So I wish that public and everybody awakens, and I wish that education is given at the forefront, right, and importance.
나갈랜드 속 만들던 먹어봐요. 우리 공부하도 이거 온라인 클래스 와도 다 오프라인 클래스 와도 나 본체고 또 like tanto tan la pachange ini itu saldo school na padawo na pandemic ini asti khotong biste school padawo bina ase to like ada ni ki bomo.
Yes, it is obvious. There are two reasons probably I could see Rita Saudole. But yes, financial problem bachangi bishina padawo this year, I mean last year also. As per record, Mon Saudole, there's a huge decline of students coming to be it private or be it government. About 20-30% of we inquired just recently, we had a survey of private school. So we found that 20-30% of the students have declined and have come down drastically in admission purpose. So which shows there's some probably it's because of financial problem, or is it because they do not want to opt during this pandemic reason? I do not know what could be the reason, but there is a huge decline, which is very saddening.
Okay, so like sir, talking about school fees. Itu public kan awas to school fees to nama wala lagi.
Right.
Nah, maybe itu teachers kan 50% pay dia aja.
Yes.
So maybe too much schools kan to late fine kan luas aja. So like what is your comment on that?
See, I just had recently a survey on this and on Anpsa school, right? And we found out that yes, we have to understand that every school is run by a different organization. Some are private, some are church run, some are institution run, some are from NGOs and all. So we cannot dictate as private school, okay, we cannot dictate to generalize all the private schools. Please give 10%, 20% or 30-40% discount of, the reduction of fees. We are in no way actually in capacity, I would say that. We can request, obviously. But looking at it, when we had a survey and all that, we found that about 80% of the schools are actually giving concession in many formats. Some because on meritorious award they get, some are giving even 100% meritorious award free, some 50%, some 20%. And I found that many schools, approximately 30 to 40%, or I mean that's on the maximum level. Okay, GSA, what do you call fee concession they're giving. Our school, for instance, we are giving about 30% concession. That's for sure. And we have all the records, we have everything, we have all the letters and everything to prove that. So there is no such thing that no schools give concession. Our Bishu school, the backlog. The most important is the backlog, that fee is not being paid. In our school, I would say that there are about 10 to 15% who have not paid the fees for now past 4 to 5 years. So for us, it's like that. Some schools, I believe, they have not even, about 20-30% have not paid the school for quite some time. Now, who is going to cater to that? The public do not understand the grievances of many private schools. The fee not being paid on time, okay, number one. Aro tahan laga fee bhi pay na kurbo, aro time to bhi na dibo, aro concession bhi mangibo, aro bishi do pai. Actually, this is how the private school do. Aro demand letter I take many parents can organize para, please help so and so. Yes, every school actually in the best of the capacity and ability, I know that they're doing the level best. But the sad factor is that nobody understands, because they are not coming and checking actually what fees they are actually giving concession. So Bharbar Sadhu Alag Asuli Bitarbar Sadhule guarantee you about 80 to 90% of Nagaland schools are everybody is giving concession. That's a guarantee.
Go social media students and go online subjects like mathematics, science, practicals. Like, do you think schools should resume offline classes very soon?
I would say that yes. Actually, when we go to different countries across all over, we are seeing that there are many. It's opened up, Even Delhi, like it is opened up. But now, what I want to ask you is that yes, we are a state that we are not having so much medical facilities and so on, and so probably we are having that negative hype of what is going to happen if the pandemic starts spreading too far and wide. Bolivia, South Korea, yes, no offline can substitute online. So as far as possible, at the earliest, I think we should start, and latest by August, the classes should resume. If not in phase-wise, as an odd and even number in row-wise, we can start, or everything should start immediately, because it is going to hinder a lot in the future growth of the children's mentality, or education. Yes, I would say that online should be off and they should come to the normal class. Yeah.
As a private schools can strategy like to provide better education.
See, I would feel that the cutting edge of private school is always like we like to look into the best for the children. I would say that the government of Nagaland especially, we are not having a futuristic concept actually. If people were to look in the futuristic concept of any state to grow or a country to grow, the first thing is that they should have medical, number one, and education, number two. And I would say the first should be education, because without education there cannot be any medical students also. So education should be the first forum, and it should be the lead factor of any state or country to make that as a top number one like priority. I would say that. So it is right to ami bhavna to le ami kan laga state to le parile to le ami kan education hub kurbo lage Nagaland state to ami kan state to le education hub banai chigile to ami kan koi na kole de ami kan bacha kan do Nagaland na pure Bharde jabo de Shillong jabo Nainital jabo Darjeeling jabo Simla jabo Thanda jaga jabo to ami kan laga economic drainage resource is getting drained out a lot. But now, luckily, there are so many schools. I can as Nagaland de. Aru itubra amingan bacha ama baba kan laga kumulido. Economically, they are really now secured in many ways, and also they are very safe. I would say that people studying in Nagaland are more safer than people studying outside Nagaland. So I would say that I would request the government, especially, to make education as the number one priority. Because if we can have an education hub in Nagaland, I think many people from abroad also and from other parts of the mainland will come to Nagaland, and they would love to be in northeast state, As we can see in like Shillong or in say Darjeeling, we see, my God, there are so many people from abroad also and from every part, nook and corner of India that they're studying over there. Why can't we make like same in Nagaland also here? So I would prefer that if at all possible, our government should take a keen interest on this. And also regarding medical, I would say that if we can make Nagaland as a medical hub, it's going to be very good. Why? Because people will like to come with their, whoever the patient, they will visit Nagaland for two aspects. Firstly, obviously, it is for medical. But secondly, they will like to be with attendance. Obviously, with the patient, there will be 2-3 attendants. They will be coming. So they have to stay in the hotel. The business will automatically boom in the hotel sector or any sector. Even tourism will boom by itself. So when we look at tourism, I think if we have a proper education and medical facility, obviously, tourism will side by side automatically is going to boom. So we should not neglect these two factors, I would say that in our country.
Okay, so sir, in comparison with the government schools and private schools,
Yeah.
government schools to the key value sir.
See, when government colleges are doing well in many aspects, why government school is lacking? I'm not saying all government schools are lacking. Yes, majority are lacking, obviously. But I think the policy is not proper, number one. And I think it's easy going. And when we compare the salary also, I mean, it's no comparison, I would say that. The school, private schools are getting a very meager amount, but they're doing the maximum output. So I would say that if at all the government and the public feels that some of the schools are not doing well, I think they need to close down and give it to the private school. And the private school can take over the government students directly, and they can be given free. If the government is paying for it, why should the private charge? So it can be in that understanding that government schools can be closed and given the children to the private school and looked after the private. I think that will be a good, very amicable understanding, you know.
Okay, so like with regard to school system, the government can give me that message, appeal no living that with regard to school system.
For which one?
In Nagaland.
Appeal to whom, you said?
Government.
To the government of Nagaland, you mean? Yes, actually, appeal is one thing, like they should open up their eyes. They should not be biased. Be it private school or be it government schools, we are working for the state. One thing they have to understand that. और थान बुझिबो लगे कि अमेरिकन लगा इतो state के अमेरिकन भी उठाया सो तो equal hand. In fact, the private school is doing the maximum because at an approximately we are looking at 75 to 80% of children are studying in private school. The best results are being given by the private school. So what is happening right now? I would say that we have been given a deaf ear, deaf eye, and even not even given a pat in the back. So Americans, how to little government is being very prejudiced about, very biased about it. I would say that it is high time the government should have leave the selfish means, and they should try to bring up the private school equally with the government school if they want the state to prosper. I would say that. And the only state can prosper is if at all they can give an equal eye to both of it. Then it will be good. Yeah.
In direction do you have any message to convey to the students?
Okay. As students we were, and also all of us, we were students, yes. We know that, yeah, it's a trial time for us, and we always like, holiday was always the best factor we feel, huh? And we always enjoy the holiday, and then we always have like a kind of, whenever the New Year comes, we have that New Year resolution, right? And it does not even last a month, and it goes away. And also when we're in the school, we just get promoted, or we fail, supposing. We say that we will do next year better than what we are doing. But this has been always a temporal moment. But I would say that if at all the children of tomorrow, you're going to be somebody great, I think you need to really bug up, you know. You need to buckle your shoes, you need to roll up your sleeves, and then you start working hard. Amikala Bachahan, yes, our people in Nagaland, we are very pampered by our parents, you know, and by everybody. So we take it very easy. But I would say that life is very hard, you know. So we need, if you really want to become somebody, you need to work hard. And there's no substitute to hard work. So I would say that, my dear children, all of you need to grow up and be responsible, because when you look at abroad, the children at a young age, they learn everything. They're disciplined. They're a person with integrity. They're very loyal. They're very respectful. and they are very humble and everything, and they do their work very diligently. So I would say that you need to be diligent, you need to be disciplined, and you need to know what atrocities are there in the future to come. So I think in that way, I think the future will be yours, and everything that you think and dream of, it will all become yours, you know? Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. May God bless and guide you in whatever you do and wherever you go. Thank you so much for the answer. And thank you so much for staying with us. Follow up with Nagaland TV for further news updates, for further interviews. Mulo de se camera person George. Thank you.
Aji karne news to iman tak आगे अपडेट करने साइट है कि भी नागालैंड टीवी